Okay, I would like to tell my own story about job. When I graduated from uni, I also started to search for a job, and for me, it is always important to work for for a really good company, or for really good for really good company. And I applied for one private language school, and also they invited me on the interview, and I was interviewed. Yeah, I was young and I hadn't any experience, and they didn't offer me the job, and I was really upset. But I wasn't upset. Yes, I wasn't upset for a long time, and I applied for another language school. It was also it was also popular in that city, but that private school that I wanted to work, it was international school, and that's why I wanted to work for that school. But then I applied for that school, and I was interviewed. So then they offered me a job as a teacher, but also they told me to show my own lesson, and it wasn't successful. I was nervous, but nevertheless they hired me, because I think I was the only candidate, and they know that I am young, but they saw my bright eyes, and they knew that I would study, and they can teach me also. And I started to work there, and I worked there for 2 years. It was rather demanding, because I had a boss, and she's a woman, and she's approximately, I don't know, 35 now, and yes, she has this private school for kids from 1 year old to approximately 6 years old, but she doesn't like kids. Yes, it's not a joke, but yeah, she has her own kid, but how can that be? Yes, that can be. It's business. She knew that she can earn lots of money, and she also brought up us like she knew that we will be flexible. Yes, she knew that we would be flexible, and she could do what she want. And then when I realized that it not was my cup of tea, I started to think about something else, and I think she knew. No, she knew. She didn't know it directly from me, but I think she knew about that because I was the only English teacher in her private school, and everybody liked me. Everyone was thankful for my lesson, was grateful for my lesson, and parents and kids adore me. And I had a quarrel with her, and one day I went to work and I gathered all my things and went back home. And I was it was the hardest time for me because I know that it was worse doing that, and but I need 1 month to recover. And then I applied for another language school, but that language school wasn't not only for kids, it was for adults, and that was the one reason that I chose it, because I wanted to have more experience with adults, because with kids it is easy, you know, because you know, animals, colors, countings, blah blah blah. But with adults, you have to to be first of all, you have to have a good level of English, and it was important for me because I understood that I don't have that level, and I started to work with my students, and every lesson was a challenge for me, because I wanted to speak only in English. I wanted to explain grammar only in English, and I worked, but then I have, oh, by the way, and I applied for this position, and I was interviewed. I was I was nervous, but this my future boss for that language school, she didn't ask me anything. She only asked, did you work in that Bjilka school? And I said yes. Okay, you can be our member of a team. And I was so surprised. No questions. Yes. And she asked me, when can you start? I say, I can start even tomorrow. And she, wow, great. Yeah, we hire you. And I started to work with adults, and I worked for international companies like Internet Devils, Nestle, and my responsibilities were to teach workers of that company English, teach English workers of that company. But then I moved to my own town because I have some changes in my life, and I worked as a tutor for 1 year from home, and but then I realized that that also it is not my cup of tea or coffee, because I want my own place, I want my own room, my own space, and I started to think where I can rent, and I found that place, and also I borrow $1,000, and I started that business, and it is successful now, and I am very glad. I know that I nowadays I work long hours. I am sleep deprived. Sometimes I am nervous. Sometimes I'm stressed out. Sometimes I am even pissed off. But I know why I am doing that, because in the near future I want to buy my own flat, and also I need some savings, and next year I know it will be more easier for me, because now I need to understand what classes are successful, what ages, what classes bring me more profit, and so on and so forth. Okay, thank you for watching such long video, and I am waiting for your feedback.